Welcome to the ultimate Arctic survival story. Witness how Louise Minchin faced freezing temperatures, life-threatening.
The Arctic is not just ice and snow. It is a place where every breath can be dangerous, and every step can test your limits. When TV presenter Louise Minchin set out on an extreme Arctic challenge, no one expected it to turn into a life-threatening situation. What started as a personal endurance test quickly became a fight for survival. The cold was relentless, cutting through layers of clothing and pushing the human body beyond its limits. In this environment, even small mistakes can lead to serious consequences. This is the story of how one challenge went too far. Louise Minchin is known as a determined and active television presenter who enjoys pushing herself through physical challenges. Over the years, she has taken part in demanding events that require both mental and physical strength. However, the Arctic is not like any other challenge. It is unpredictable, unforgiving, and extremely dangerous. Despite her preparation and experience, this expedition would test her in ways she had never faced before. Everything seemed well planned, with the right gear and a capable team. But in extreme environments, control is often an illusion. The expedition began under relatively stable conditions. The team moved across the frozen landscape, following their planned route. At first, everything seemed manageable. The cold was intense, but expected. Each member focused on conserving energy and maintaining steady progress. However, in the Arctic, conditions can change rapidly. As temperatures dropped further and winds picked up, the physical strain increased. The human body starts losing heat faster than it can recover, and fatigue begins to build. This is often the moment when hidden risks start to emerge. Frostbite is one of the most serious dangers in extreme cold. It begins quietly, often without immediate pain. The skin may turn pale, and a tingling sensation can appear. As the condition progresses, numbness sets in, and the affected area loses sensitivity. This is when the real danger begins, because the body stops warning you. In such environments, ignoring early signs can lead to severe injury. Louise was entering this critical stage without fully realizing the risk. Louise began to feel discomfort in her hands. At first, it seemed minor, something that could be managed, but as time passed, the sensation changed. The pain faded, replaced by numbness, which is a far more dangerous sign. Movement became more difficult, and simple tasks required more effort. In extreme cold, the body sends signals that should never be ignored. But like many people in challenging situations, she pushed forward, believing it was temporary. As temperatures continued to drop, the situation became more serious. The body was losing heat rapidly, and energy levels were falling. Frostbite was no longer a possibility, it was already happening. The team began to notice the severity of the condition. At this point, every minute mattered. Delaying action could result in permanent damage. The environment was no longer just challenging, it had become dangerous. The team faced a critical decision: continue the expedition or stop and evacuate. In extreme conditions, decisions must be based on logic, not determination or pride. Continuing would increase the risk significantly. They chose to prioritize safety and called for evacuation. It was the right decision, and likely the one that prevented a far worse outcome. In the Arctic, survival depends on knowing when to stop. The rescue operation was initiated quickly. In the Arctic, time is critical, and delays can be dangerous. A coordinated effort was made to extract Louise from the harsh environment. The conditions made the operation challenging, but it was successful. She was safely transported out of the danger zone, marking a turning point in the situation. At the hospital, medical professionals assessed her condition. The frostbite was confirmed to be serious, requiring careful and prolonged treatment. Recovery from such injuries is not immediate. It involves monitoring, gradual warming, and preventing further complications. This was no longer an adventure, it had become a medical emergency. This incident highlights an important lesson. Nature should never be underestimated. Preparation, awareness, and caution are essential in extreme environments. Even experienced individuals can find themselves in danger if conditions change unexpectedly. The Arctic does not forgive mistakes. Louise is now recovering. The process is slow and requires patience. While she survived the incident, the experience has left a lasting impact. It serves as a reminder that some challenges carry real risks. Not every test is worth pushing to the limit. The Arctic remains one of the most beautiful yet dangerous places on Earth. Louise Minchin's story is not just about survival, but about understanding limits. When facing nature, respect is not optional, it is necessary. The question is simple: are you truly prepared? If the team had delayed their decision even slightly, the outcome could have been much worse. Frostbite can lead to permanent tissue damage, and in extreme cases, amputation becomes unavoidable. In conditions like the Arctic, the line between discomfort and irreversible injury is dangerously thin. Louise was fortunate that the warning signs were recognized in time. This moment highlights how critical fast decision-making is in survival situations. One wrong call, one delay, and the consequences could have changed her life forever. This was not just a close call, it was a narrow escape. Experts in extreme survival often emphasize one key principle: respect the environment at all times. The Arctic is not a place for underestimation or overconfidence. Proper gear, constant monitoring of physical condition, and quick response to warning signs are essential. Even highly trained individuals can be caught off guard. Louise's experience reinforces what survival professionals already know: nature always has the upper hand. Preparation reduces risk, but it never eliminates it completely. This story is more than just an incident, it is a reminder. Challenges can be inspiring, but they also carry real risks. Knowing your limits is not weakness, it is intelligence. Louise Minchin's Arctic experience shows that survival depends on awareness, timing, and the ability to make the right decision under pressure. If you found this story insightful, consider what you would do in the same situation. Would you push forward? Or would you stop in time? The difference could mean everything.
This concludes the incredible story of courage, survival, and the power of nature. Remember, preparation and awareness